Hey everybody, and welcome to another segment of AstrologyAnswers.com's weekly forecast. My name is Terence. The week begins on Monday, January the 17th, with a full moon in emotional domestic Cancer. The full moon brings things that have been hidden out into the light. It's a time of culmination. It can often test relationships in general each month, but this full moon is going to be in opposition or in confrontation to Pluto, powerful transformational Pluto. But Pluto also rules the underworld or secrets, and the full moon is revealing things that have been hidden. So a lot of secrets could be revealed that could really test relationships. Now that communication Mercury went retrograde January the 14th, and Venus has been retrograde since mid-December through January the 29th. Venus in retrograde has us reviewing, recalculating our personal relationships. Mercury in retrograde, it's a time to review past decisions. So this is a really important adjustment period. And however this will play out for you, it is going to be revealed with this full moon, Monday going into Tuesday. Now, right after the full moon peaks in the mid-afternoon Pacific time, the moon will then go void of course from 3:49 p.m. until 8:04 p.m. Pacific time. Remember, when the moon is void of course, there's not a lot of planetary activity, so the energy is flat. So it's always suggested to just stay the course, stick with the routine, but not introduce any major new projects or make any major new decisions until the moon goes direct into the sign of Leo, outgoing Leo, at 8:04 p.m. Pacific time. And with the moon void of course, and Mercury in retrograde, this is really good to just sleep on it, reflect, but not make any decisions that could make an impact in your life. Tuesday, the 18th, now rebellious, innovative, liberating Uranus that's been retrograde for a number of months will go direct until August of 2022. Uranus rules Aquarius. Wherever Aquarius rules in your chart, which house sector or any planets in Aquarius, Uranus, the ruler, is going to start going direct and therefore releasing any kind of pent-up energies. I always look at when Uranus aspects, just in general, a planet in the chart, where you might have been feeling stuck or bored with that particular energy, Uranus wants to shake things up and try new things. And as the moon is in dynamic Leo on the 18th, the moon will be in opposition, confrontation with communication Mercury that's retrograde. This is around right after noon into the first couple of hours of Tuesday afternoon, and that from noon to 2 p.m. So negotiations, communications could be muddled, a lot of misunderstandings, because the moon is emotional. It's in opposition to Mercury, which is rational, except Mercury is retrograde, ripe for miscommunications. By 5 p.m. Pacific time, and those next couple of hours, the moon will be in hard angle to rebellious, unpredictable Uranus. So there's a lot of unstable changes. Plus with the retrogrades, again, just keep doing what you've been doing and breathe, and this too shall pass. Wednesday, as the moon continues in extroverted, dynamic Leo, the sun, which has been in traditional Capricorn for the previous 4 weeks, as around 6:40 p.m. Pacific time, the moon goes into Aquarius for the next 4 weeks. Aquarius rules the future. Capricorn represents the past. Capricorn is conventional. Aquarius is unconventional. So it's often when all these, the new year energies start to really open up and timed for a lot of movement. Thursday, on the 20th, the moon will have been entered into Virgo at 6 a.m. Pacific time. Virgo is this service-oriented, hardworking, sensible, practical energies. And the moon will be opposite Jupiter in the mid-afternoon Pacific time. So that opposition is energies coming from other sources. With the Jupiter, you could be receiving a lot of good news. You could be feeling really optimistic about your plans, what you're hearing from others. The problem is with Jupiter in tension and these retrograde planets, you might have inflated expectations. Mercury's the planet of expectations. Jupiter can inflate. Fortunately, with the moon in Virgo, it's going to help people to stay grounded, stay sensible, even with all these big plans are being offered. Friday, the 21st, as the moon is in Virgo, it's in the early part of the day from about 5 a.m. to 7 a.m., but Pacific time. It's going to be in harmony with Venus. Maybe on the west coast of the United States, it's most everybody is still sleeping or trying to get ready for work. But as we further east we go to the East Coast, especially Europe, that moon in harmony with Venus is really favorable for forgiveness, for communications, for reaching out to loved ones, to old friendships, especially with Venus in retrograde. Venus, the planet of relationships, the retrograde of a time every year and a half to reconnect with and to forgive relationships. So Friday's a good day for that, especially in the early part of the day. Saturday, the 22nd, with the moon, continues in Virgo until mid-afternoon. The moon, however, in Virgo will be in tension to restless, impatient Mars around noon, lasting for a good 2 hours. There might be some impatience with the Mercury in retrograde, jumping the gun, making assumptions, feeling irritable or critical. However, the moon will move into Libra around 2 p.m. for the next couple of days, 2 p.m. Pacific time. Libra wants harmony. Libra seeks compromise. And the moon in Libra will be in harmony with the sun in Aquarius because they're both air signs. Air has a lot to do with communications and ideas. But just in general, when the moon, the emotional moon, is in harmony with the sun, it is a good, comfortable day. So with all that readjusting and reevaluating with the retrogrades, this after 2 p.m. Pacific time on Saturday, there could be a little bit more relaxation, and it's the weekend. good for reconnecting, getting back out there with friends and loved ones. Sunday, the 23rd, communication Mercury, retrograde, until February the 3rd, will be aligned with the Sun. So when the Mercury and the Sun align, it's a day of a lot of mental activities, a lot of conversations, ideas, brainstorming, but the Mercury is retrograde. In the positive, this could be dusting off old ideas from the past and, taking a second look at it. It could also be very good for any misunderstandings that came up in friendships, in negotiations, and trying it again, looking for forgiveness. So before I sign off, I want to remind you I'm available for a one-question offer for a nominal fee. To request it, go to the home page of astrologyanswers.com, look for the tab labeled Advisors, click on it, scroll down till you find my name, and just follow the instructions. I want to thank you for tuning in. I hope to see you next week with my next segment. Until then, be safe and well.